Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character profile video. This one will be on Dr. Candace Jenner, wife to Dr. Edwin Jenner. Candace is of course female. She is played by Claire Bronson in the TV series and by Rosaura Cruz in the Survival Instinct game. She is 34 years old and first appeared in TS19. Before the outbreak, Candace studied to be a virologist, eventually meeting and marrying her husband Edwin. After her studies, she got a job at the CDC, and over the years, she became the head of the CDC, located in Atlanta, Georgia, and also worked alongside her husband, Edwin. She was a pioneer of her occupation, an Einstein of her field, but just before the outbreak, Candace was informed of a new, highly contagious disease that everyone on the planet had contracted. This, of course, was the wildfire virus. Candace was in communication with other scientists across the country and the world, including a scientist located in Cleburne, Georgia, named Dr. Dowdle, who began operating in a hospital in Cleburne. In Survival Instinct, Candace is heard on the radio talking to Dowdle. Dowdle informs her that the virus isn't a function of the central nervous system, but rather a function of the peripheral. Candace asks Dowdle if she has samples, and she claims that that's why she stayed at the hospital, trying to do whatever it takes. Candace then points out that she just doesn't have any, but Dowdle informs her that Lieutenant Groves, a military man, is getting her some. These samples turn out to be other survivors, but I'm unsure if Candace knew this. Later in the game, Candace, although unseen, is transported to the Fire Sign Stadium, where Lieutenant Groves tells his command that he and his team have successfully extracted her from the area. From here, she was brought to the CDC in Atlanta, continuing her important work, now with her husband by her side. When things got bad, most of the scientists left to be with family, but when it got worse, the military got overrun and some more ran. During this, both the Jenners communicated with the French about the disease, even discussing variants. However, many of the scientists couldn't bear to face outside the CDC, so they chose to opt out of living. Jenner and Candace decided to keep working, but sadly though, Candace was bitten and infected. The circumstances behind the bite are unknown, but Jenner made a promise to Candace that he would keep going for as long as he could. She was then placed in an MRI scanner, where her brain was recorded slowly dying from the effects of the bite. Once dead, her brain activity ceased, but 2 hours, 1 minute, and 7 seconds later, Candace's brainstems reactivated. Candace's walker began to stir, so Jenner did this to Candace.
God, what was that?
Shot in the head by her husband, Edwin Jenner. After this, her body was, I assume, cut up into pieces, and most of it was frozen so it could be used in investigating the virus further and looking for a cure. In Season 1, Candace's tissues, yes, are first seen being taken out of the freezer by Edwin Jenner, where he adds a chemical to them in order to study the effects of the virus. He sadly, though, knocks over a vial of corrosive chemicals, which causes Vi to initiate decontamination, destroying what is left of Candace. Meaning, Candace's body is, I guess, completely destroyed. R.I.P. Candace Jenner. Later, in TS19, we see footage of Candace's MRI brain scan, where the group witness her die, reanimate, and then be shot in the head by Edwin. Sometime after, we see a picture of Candace where Jenner tells the picture and Candace that he tried the best he could in the time that he had, and he hopes that she'd be proud of him for that. Also, Candace was meant to appear in Fear the Walking Dead, where she would have been on the news urging people that the infected individuals are not dead, just sick, and they need to be treated as such. This scene, though, was sadly cut from the pilot in the end, which, honestly, is very disappointing. Pause if you want a little read. She's not in the episode for long, she literally only appears just there, but it's cool anyway. Cool little bit of trivia. Candace Jenner is actually such a cool character for someone who basically never appears. We learn so much about her, and she was the only possible hope that the USA had to hold off the virus. And who knows, maybe her bright mind could have found a cure of some sort if she hadn't have died. But maybe she was doomed either way, and the US was doomed either way, and the world was doomed either way. It was the damn French's fault. I really wish she physically appeared in World Beyond, Fear, Survival Instinct, whatever it may be. Having that through-line character would have just been so cool, but oh well. Tell me your thoughts on Candace Jenner, and no we all sadly, as we're on to themes, and that theme is going to be lone survivors. Now, normally these would be day-to-day, but I regretted it last time, I burnt myself out, so these will be weekly. But for 10 weeks straight, we'll be looking at what I consider to be lonely survivors. Some exceptions to this rule, of course, some people who travelled in 2s and 3s, but anyway, look forward to that. See you soon, bye.